What's up guys, it's Eli and welcome back to my channel for another video. As you guys know, yesterday Presonus released Studio One version 7, and with that new release there came a lot of new updates and a lot of new features that we are all excited about. But for today, I just wanted to talk about my favorite 3. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it and let's talk about what those 3 features are. All right, so we have a new empty session loaded up here in Studio One, and we're about to go over those 3 features that I think are just the best features released with the new update. It is not in any particular order as far as which one I think is the best, but these are my top 3. So comment down below and let me know which one is your favorite. And if your favorite is not on this list, also comment down below and let me know which one that is. So the first thing we're going to talk about is detect tempo. Studio One can now detect the tempo for you automatically without you having to do anything. You just click on the file, tell Studio One, detect the tempo, and it does that for you automatically, right? So I think that's a cool feature. And for this example, we're going to use a song that I produced, which is currently out and on the channel right now. I will make sure to link it down in the description. So if you guys want to check it out, do so and let me know what you guys think. This song is actually a Creole song. It's compa. Let me know what you guys think. As you can see, my session is loaded right now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the inspector window and I'm going to change the tempo to don't follow. And then, yeah, I think that's all I want to do right now. And let's just see what Studio One does. Before I go ahead and do it, there's 2 ways you can detect the tempo. First way, you can click on detect tempo, where it's not going to change the session tempo to your file. It's just going to detect the tempo for the file and leave it at that. And the second option is to extract the tempo to the tempo track. So it's going to map out the tempo for you. So you don't have to do anything at the end. All right, so let's go ahead and try out the extract tempo to tempo track and let's see what that does. All right, so after a few seconds of thinking, Studio One found the tempo. What you will notice is that it mapped out the tempo for us. And you'll notice at the beginning, because I did not trim the empty space at the beginning, it left the original session tempo, which was at 120. And then as soon as my file started, it changed the tempo to whatever the file tempo was. If I turn on the metronome and play it, it should lock into the tempo. But let's find out. All right, the beginning sounds good to me. Let's jump to the end and see how good it actually is. Still sound good to me. All right, so I think that worked and I didn't have to do any adjustments or anything like that besides that few little things that I didn't take care of at the beginning that I had to make those adjustments. But other than that, the tempo is perfect. I think that works and it worked flawlessly. Next thing we're going to talk about is the AI-powered stem separation. AI-powered stem separation has been the talk of the town lately. Everybody wants their dog to do it, and Studio One just came out like, hey, we're gonna do it too. Personally, I will use stem separation for a couple of things. First, if I have an artist that wants to make a cover of a song that is already out on the radio, I can simply just extract the vocals, have the beat, and be ready to go. And the second way that I think I can use it is to take an existing song and extract the vocals, use the vocals as a guide to make backing tracks for my church. Those are the 2 ways that I think I'm going to be using it for now, but there's a whole lot of other ways that you can use stem separation if you need to. Let's see how Studio One handles it and see how good it actually is. Now, I have been using the Logic version, and I think that one is pretty good and pretty fast. But let's see how the Studio One version compares. To access it, just like the tempo detection, you just right click on the event and you click on separate stems. All right. I've done it before, that's why it shows up here on my recent items. But if you have not done it, you would go under audio and right on the left here, separate stems. That's how you access it. And also, you can also do it with keyboard shortcut, which is Command U or Control U if you're on Windows. Command U will bring up the menu. It tells you it's going to do vocals, bass, drums, and others, all other instruments. If you don't want something, you can just click it out. But in my case, I do want everything to be separated like that. So I'm just gonna leave it as is, click OK. And now Studio One is thinking and it's gonna extract all the different parts and give you access to those stems separately. Now it does take a little bit longer than I would like, mainly because I'm used to the way Logic does it and it's super fast. But I don't think it's any big deal. And again, this has been out for just about a day, so I'm sure they're gonna improve on it. Studio One did its thing, and now we have all of our tracks separated here. And let's see how good they actually sound. Let's start with the vocals and see how good they actually sound. Not the cleanest vocals that I've heard from stem separation, but with this being brand new to the market, I don't think it's too bad. I think they're gonna improve on it, and let's see what the future holds. All right, but let's check out the other tracks. Let's go with the drums next. All right, the drums sounded a little bit better than the vocals did, to be honest. But they do have this weird, I think it's kind of like a flanger effect. Not sure, but that's the only thing that I kind of noticed about it. It's kind of weird to hear. Other than that, I think it's fine, usable. Let's move on to the bass. Same thing with the bass. I think it sounds good, but it does have this flingery effect that I don't really like about it, especially knowing that this was a real electric bass playing. It sounds more like a synth bass. Other than that, it's usable. But let's see what the other instrument sounds like. So for this one, I could actually hear a little bit of vocals bleeding through those, but for the most part, I think it's good enough. I would actually use this if I was in a pinch and I needed it. I would actually use it. But again, like I said, the way that I would use this is to use the vocals as a guide to create some backing tracks for performance, or to take the beat and get rid of the vocals to record somebody. So let's test that out and see what that actually sounds like to just have the beat, not the vocals, and see how good they actually sound. I think you can get away with that. Yes, I could hear a little bit of vocals bleeding through it, but I think you can get away with it if that's all you had to use. Yeah, that is stem separation. I think it has a long ways to go, but for the most part, if you are only using Studio One, you have stem separation. You can use that. I would definitely use that. All right, so let's move on to the last thing we're going to talk about today. It is global transpose. Global transpose, what would you be using that for? Well, as a home studio recording engineer, I have had clients telling me, hey, I think this is too high for me. I'm struggling to hit the notes. Can we change the note? After I spent weeks working on a record, and then it's time to record the vocals, now they're telling me it's too high and they can't reach the notes. I have flat out told clients, no, I'm not changing the key because it's just going to take too much work depending on the complexity of the track. And of course, sometimes I just take one of those pitch shifter plugins and put it on a master bus and shift the tuning that way. But now knowing that I can actually do it right from my DAW without using a plugin, I think that is a game changer. All right, so how would I use this? A certain element, I would not actually be tuning, like my drums. I would actually be leaving those as they are. But everything else, anything melodic, I would be tuning. So what I would do, the way Studio One does it, I think is just great, right? So if you have something you don't want to tune, you will simply tell Studio One, don't tune that one. And then anything else, tell them to follow the global transpose. All right, so like for the voices, of course, follow global transpose. For my drums, no. And for bass and other, definitely yes. All right, so with that said, let's listen to everything again with the original key, and then we're gonna do some changes and see what they sound like. All right, let's go. All right, so that's the original key. Now let's drop it by 2 semitones and see what that sounds like. Oh, that sounds interesting. Now we're bringing it up by 4 semitones. Sounds very interesting, but I would rather redo everything to the right key if it comes down to it. But in this case, if I've spent weeks on a record and I find out that I have to tune it, I think this is the best way to do it rather than using a plugin. So Studio One, I'm gonna have to give you a point here. All right, so that is it. That brings us to the end of this video. What did you guys think? Which features of Studio One 7 do you like the most? For me, those are the 3. We have the auto tempo detect, we have the AI-powered stem separation, and lastly, we have global transpose. Which one of these features do you think needs more work, and which one you think is your favorite? And of course, there's a bunch of other features that were released as well with this new update. Which one of those is your favorite, right? Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and make sure to like the video, subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next video.